Hello and welcome to Tuesdays with Trailblazers by Martech, the video podcast where we bring you the cutting edge insights and trends from the world of marketing and technology. I'm your host, Neha, and today I have the pleasure of interviewing a trailblazer in the software industry. He's none other than the VP, Head of Marketing at G2, the leading platform for software reviews and comparisons. He has a rich and diverse background in journalism and history and has been at the forefront of marketing innovation at some of the most successful software companies in the industry. Please give a warm welcome to Palmer Houchins. Palmer, it's great to have you today on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Looking forward to the conversation.
Oh, great. Well, before we dive into the nitty-gritty of tech and business, let's kick things off with something else maybe. You recently attended the G2 mid-year meetup in person.
Yeah, it was wonderful. We do that twice a year. We kind of convene the entire company in Chicago, which is where our headquarters is, and was lucky enough this time to have our entire marketing team there in person together, which I don't think we've ever done before. So we had two of our teammates from India and one of our teammates in London who made the trip over. So just a wonderful week together. And Chicago in August is just great weather and a great place to be. So we had a wonderful time together.
And we saw all your posts there, in comparison between August and February. It was interesting.
Yes, February is pretty chilly, and I'm not accustomed to it. But August, really the summertime in Chicago is just perfect weather.
Absolutely correct. That sounds so wonderful, and it's always great to find that balance between work and relationships, which is work relationships, and this delicate balance is very important. Now let's dive into our main discussions today and maybe understand your journey, how you started your journey and why, and what you've been doing in G2. So your career journey is quite fascinating, and you have a background in journalism and history, and then you switched to marketing. What motivated you to make this change?
Well, you're exactly right. I studied history and journalism in college, and I really thought that I might want to be a journalist. I might want to be a writer one day, and kind of got through the end of that program, and I thought, you know what? I don't think this is for me. This isn't what I want to do. And luckily, I had a few kind of side jobs or things that I would just do in my free time that involved marketing and digital marketing. So I sort of incorporated that into my career track. So when it came time to graduate, I joined a startup actually, where I kind of led the marketing side. So I worked in the early part of my career in the music and entertainment space, but with a heavy focus on digital marketing and leveraging some of those writing skills that I learned in my journalism program. And after a few years working in that space doing marketing, I kind of made the pivot to the technology space. I was really attracted to sort of what was going on in the broader technology segment, and ended up landing a job at MailChimp about 11 years ago. And that was a kind of an early days for that startup company. And I've spent the rest of my career, the past 11 years, doing all sorts of different marketing functions and roles within kind of the B2B software space. And so it's been a great journey. And I tell folks that I don't think our careers are really ever straight lines, and mine certainly hasn't been that, but I've benefited from all aspects of it. And I enjoy kind of that through line of marketing that's been there throughout it.
Correct. And you must have faced some challenges along the way. Would you like to mention those as well?
Sure. We're going through what now would be described as kind of a downturn in the tech economy. And certainly we've seen that over the past year. But I was early in my career in sort of 2009 when we went through the kind of great financial crisis here in the States. And that was a very challenging time. I was doing digital marketing and helping support a sales team there. And it was a really, I don't know, I guess a really unique time and somewhat of a challenging time to get budget to fund marketing activities, to even have the sort of budgets to keep some businesses afloat. So I learned a lot. I learned to be kind of efficient. I learned to be thrifty. I learned to look for opportunities during that time. And I think that those lean times can certainly help inform us to be as efficient and sort of growth minded when the right opportunities present themselves. And so you've got to really prioritize your time, your resources, and your budget.
Of course, when there's a downturn, you learn more. I think those are the learning lessons. Those are very, very important for your growth as in whatever you're doing. I agree. And before we, talk more about G2, how did you make the transition from content marketer to marketing leader?
Sure. So I was lucky enough early in my career, sort of the early digital marketing jobs that I had, and then my early time at MailChimp, I was more of a marketing generalist. So I was a brand manager there at MailChimp, but I really got to have my hand in all sorts of different kind of marketing functions. So you mentioned content marketing. I did some support of that. I've done a lot with brand marketing. I've done sort of acquisition marketing, more demand gen marketing, and I really think that sort of prepared me to move into some of the leadership roles that I've held since then, to really have that full picture, that kind of wide aperture of like what marketing is. And that's not to say that there's anything wrong with being a specialist and sort of specializing your way up, but I've been fortunate enough to really, whether through individual projects or actual roles, see most sides of the sort of the marketing coin, so to speak, and really benefited from that and tried to kind of apply those lessons as I've moved into more leadership roles.
Oh, lovely. That's so nice to hear, and we look forward to learning more from you. So you're currently looking at a wide array of marketing functions, if I'm not wrong. So we would like to know about your day-to-day responsibilities and how do you handle those different aspects of marketing on a daily basis?
Yeah, that's a great question, and I'm fortunate enough to have a great team and some great leaders here on the marketing team at G2. So the way that we think about marketing here, we're really focused on reaching those sellers who might use G2 as a resource for reaching software buyers. So we've divided our team up. We've got three kind of main functions within the marketing group here. The one that I've historically been part of and actually joined to lead was our brand and comms function. So we have sort of a in-house brand and creative team that helps us create all of the assets that we need to do marketing in the way that we want to move forward. We also have a PR and comms function that handles not only all of the public relations and communications that we're doing, but also is very involved in our social media presence. And then lastly, we have an events team that helps us go activate at really dozens of different events across the globe every year. So that's one team, our brand and comms team. It's very much a shared resource that's out there supporting a lot of different endeavors. The second team that we have is our revenue marketing team. And so within revenue marketing, we have our traditional demand gen team that's really focused on all of our customer acquisition, all of our sort of expansion motion that we're doing there. Really think about it as a traditional kind of demand gen team, but focused on growing the number of leads and sort of the overall sort of revenue conversion that we see from that. And then also within the revenue marketing team, somewhat unique to G2, but really is a central function for us here, and I think should be part of every marketing function, is our customer marketing team. So we have a team that works with all of our great G2 customers to really highlight case studies, to build out education opportunities, and to just keep customers top of mind for us as we move forward. And then the last team within marketing here at G2 is our product and partner marketing team. So our product marketing team is sort of triangulates between our product and sales side, and really helps us make sure that we're bringing the right message to market, the right framing, and that we're giving the right support to any new product launches or other big milestones for the G2 product. And then last but certainly not least is our partner marketing team. We've got integrations with a number of the leading kind of Martech and ABM platforms out there, and it takes a great partner marketing team to go out there and help support those, as well as do internal sort of education and support for what you can accomplish with those integrations. So I like to say that we've got a small but very mighty marketing team here, and we have a sort of a diverse set of functions and roles. But altogether, I think we can move mountains together.
Oh, lovely. And of course, the kind of insights you're giving about the customer experience, which actually shows on your platform. And we can see that that's happening and the team is working a lot on that one. So that's exciting. Sounds very exciting. It's definitely way more challenging than you made it sound. So given your extensive experience, what would you say are some of the biggest obstacles and opportunities you encounter in your current role in a day, let's say?
Sure. I'd say the number one obstacle out there for any marketer is that there's just not enough time in the day. There's so much that we could be doing. How do we prioritize our time and our resources to go out and be the best partner internally and externally that we can be as marketers? And I think that's just a day-to-day challenge, and we try and stay as focused and as lean as we can to do that. I think from sort of a macro perspective right now, I think what you're seeing with a lot of tech marketers, and this affects us both as marketers here at G2, but also the marketers who are our customers, folks are being really challenged from a budget perspective right now. You've got finance departments that are much more involved in sort of new software onboarding. And I think that you've really got to have a very defined and understandable ROI story to go out there and be a successful marketer in this climate. So that's something that we're trying to practice internally, and that we're also mindful of all of the customers that we're trying to go reach, that they're facing those same challenges, making it easy for them. So from an opportunities perspective, though, I think that G2 just continues to grow, and so we have a lot of wind at our sails in that regard. We see over 80 million software buyers come to the site every year, and so I think when you have that critical mass of software buyers, it's only natural that the software marketers are going to want to be there to try and reach them. So I see that as a big opportunity that we have, and I think also just internally with our own marketing team here, we've got a great opportunity to sort of expand our reach, whether it's through promoting new integrations, new functionality with the products, and a whole other plethora of innovations that we're doing here internally. So we're not slowing down, and we're encouraging our teams to kind of move rapidly as well.
That takes a lot of grit in this downturn,
It does.
So
it does.
yes. All right, so let's transition a little bit of understanding G2 a little more, because it's a disruptive force in the realms of technology and marketing. So tell us, what makes G2 so popular and reliable as a source of information or for software and services? What is that USP which you vouch on?
Yeah. I think there's really four things that come to mind for me, and sort of what makes G2 as important and sought after as it is. The first one is just the depth and breadth of our data. We've got 2 million reviews across 150,000 products and services and 2,000 plus categories. That's just a really, like I said, it's wide and deep, and we want folks to know that. And like I mentioned before, we have 80 million software buyers that are already coming to the site, and we outpace most of our competition. I shouldn't say most, we outpace our competition in terms of visits. And so we've got that critical mass of software buyers that just makes everything more powerful. The second thing that I'd say is really powerful about G2 is that we've got a great market research team who sort of I would say cultivates and then sort of administers the leading taxonomy for software. So you can see on G2 that we really are trying to push the envelope and be this necessarily the resource of record for what's happening in the software landscape. So that taxonomy, all of those categories, what's happening where, and what's new and emerging. I think that's a unique value that we have. The third piece I'd say is just we're trusted. We have very strict guidelines about which of our reviews will be approved. We end up rejecting about a third of the reviews if they don't fit that criteria. We just have a very rigorous moderation process and teams who are very focused on creating that trust, and that's just a through line. If G2 can't be trusted, then we're not providing the value that we want to those software buyers and sellers. So trust is a big piece of what we do. And then the last piece I'd say with G2 is that innovation is just part of our core. We're entrepreneurial by nature. We're always trying new things. We want to be the first to market. Obviously, AI is a big focus for us right now, and we've launched a software buying assistant who we're calling Monty, named after our company mascot, and it's really helping take those unique insights within our data set and surfacing them for software buyers. So again, depth and breadth of data, sort of our taxonomy, our level of trust and innovation, those to me are the things that make G2 as powerful as it is.
Oh, that's nice to know. Can you elaborate a little bit on top software buying trends which G2 sees that marketers should be aware of in coming future?
Absolutely. The first one I'll mention is kind of what I ended the last one being. We ran a survey earlier this year, polled over 1,000 software buyers across the globe, and we found some interesting trends through that. The first one I would say is that software buyers see AI as foundational to their business strategy. This isn't just a flash in a pan moment. Folks are looking to use AI to be more efficient, to get more done. And so I think as software vendors, we need to be mindful of how we're positioning ourselves. If you're not thinking about that, the AI component to what you do, then you might be left behind, and make sure you're building that AI functionality, because that's what software buyers want. The second big thing that we saw kind of stick out in the buying trends that we uncovered earlier this year is buyers are going to stick to a process. There's going to be a buyer committee. There's going to be a pressure to deliver ROI and results early on. And so I think that that's something that you've got to be able to adapt to software buyers, their buying committees, and their process. Buyers want to move fast, and if you as a B2B seller aren't moving fast with them, then you're not going to be part of that consideration set. So that's something that we want folks to be aware of and make sure that they are building that into their sales process. The third thing that really stood out to us is that value, scalability, and ease are top considerations for software buyers, no matter whether they're an SMB or a very large enterprise. So folks want it to be priced affordably. They want it to scale, whether they're big or small. And they want it to be easy to use. Not only easy to use, but also easy to implement. That's a big frustration we've seen with software buyers. They don't want to make a software purchase and then have to spend months and months in sort of an implementation process. They want to be able to move quickly. And then the last thing that I'll say from our software buying trends report is that software buyers are really looking for solutions that work together with other solutions, and they don't want it to be complex. They want to have turnkey integrations. They want it to be able to integrate with their existing software. 80% of the folks that we talked to said that was a chief consideration from them. So I think software vendors out there would certainly want to be mindful of what's happening from an integration perspective, and making sure that they're integrating their software as best they can.
Now, Palmer, let's dive into one of the products of G2, let's say G2 Marketing Solutions. Can you point out how it helps brand engage better with its desired buyers?
Really, one of the great things about our marketing solutions product in the G2 marketplace is that it just scales with you. If you're just getting started, you can claim your profile, start building it out, build your brand, and sort of start capturing that demand there. But then it sort of runs the gamut to when you might become an enterprise category leader and have multiple products on the marketplace. So I think it's just got that great scalability there. But the five things that I would say is sort of here's where you start, and then here's where you can go with G2. The first one is, like I mentioned, you can claim your G2 profile and optimize that profile to build your brand and capture demand. Once you've done that, you can start running review campaigns to get feedback and inspire buyer confidence. So everyone wants that social proof. You want to have those customer stories and customer references, and G2 is just a great place to do that. Once you've built that out, you can start looking at our buyer intent data to find customers who are in market and prime for purchase. I think this is, one of G2's several superpowers. We have very unique buyer intent data that will help you understand and surface who are the folks in market that are researching your product or researching your category, and how can you reach them at the right time. And that can be from a marketing perspective or a sales perspective. So that's a really important one. Beyond that, there's two other ways that I think you can use G2 marketing solutions to grow your business. The fourth one is we have a great content marketing subscription that highlights all of the different reports and grids that we publish. And you can license those to drive demand, to help increase your conversion rates, to really put those across your go-to-market function and again, provide that social proof to really differentiate yourself from the competition. And then lastly, a relatively new product for us is that we've launched a market intelligence product to help our customers make data-driven decisions with real-time company, competitor, and category insights. So we've got billions of data points across G2, and our market intelligence product is really how you can better understand what's happening with your competition and inside your category.
Oh, okay. So data intelligence is, of course, very important when you talk about understanding the customer and, what are their pain points. So G2, as you said, is the largest and most trusted software marketplace, helping 80 million people every year making smarter software decisions based on authentic peer reviews, which is incredible. How is G2 planning to grow and enhance its platform for software discovery and, comparison in future?
Yeah, that's a great question, and we've got a lot of plans underway for how we're going to grow G2 from both a buyer perspective as well as a seller perspective. I hate to keep beating the AI drum, but it's necessary. We see that as a continued area of innovation for us. Like I mentioned, we've got an AI-powered software buying assistant out there, but we're launching a new AI-powered sort of documentation wizard. So you've onboarded G2, you want to understand how to integrate with our API, how to do those integrations. We want AI to be able to help you with that. We're also building out some other AI tools, even ones that could help you sell your own product on your website. So we see a lot of innovation happening on the AI front, and we're really we're going to be double down there for not just this year, but the years to come, and improving what we can do there. Beyond the AI front, we also are expanding into more services ecosystems. So we're about to launch our first services grids. Software implementers, software consultants, even different digital and marketing agencies are all crucial pieces of sort of the software ecosystem, and they are naturally attracted to G2, and we're helping them build out and do more. So you'll see services grids across digital marketing, HubSpot ecosystem, Salesforce ecosystem, and many others. So we're excited about those to be added to our quarterly market reports. And then the last thing that I'll mention is just a new set of integrations that we're going to be launching here towards the end of this year, and we're calling it G2 for Sales. We've really over the years have done a great job of launching integrations with our buyer intent data across a number of ABM platforms. So whether you're using 6 Sense, Demandbase, any number of ABM platforms, G2 is integrated and helping you operationalize that from an ABM perspective. But we think we can go a step further with that and help use that buyer intent data to operationalize it for sales teams. Because if you've got a marketing team and a sales team using our data, it just becomes that much more powerful. So we're excited. We've got an integration with ZoomInfo already live right now. We've got one with SalesLoft live, and we've got several more, in the works with a few other folks who are leaders in the, whether it be sales planning, sales engagement, all of these different areas that we really think can provide some power and put it in the fingertips of those frontline salespeople out there. So we're excited for that. And then, beyond that, we just continually are optimizing our buyer marketplace to attract as many software buyers as we can and make it as easy and turnkey and frankly fun for them to use. So we'll continue doubling down there as well.
Oh, we wish you all the best for this. And I have a question for you. What do you think AI will replace jobs with?
I think the answer is maybe some, but I don't, I go back to, I think there's every time a new technology emerges, we think back to, oh, the computer's here, it's going to replace all these people in the office. I'm more of the mindset that it will help augment and supplement our jobs, that frankly we'll all need to get very good at using AI, and it'll help us be better, more productive at our jobs. I think there may be certain areas where it could replace jobs, but I think in those situations, it's probably creating jobs in other areas. So I think there's a balance. I'm certainly not one of those folks that thinks we're going to have purely AI as it's coming for all of our information sort of knowledge worker jobs. I think it can help us do better and be more productive, but isn't going to replace us, at least for the foreseeable future.
Yes, that's right. All right. Thank you, Palmer. I think we're almost at the end of the interview, and I have, one last question, and I want to know, what do you do beyond G2? What are your hobbies? What activities you enjoy?
Yes. Well, I like to tell folks that I used to have hobbies, and then I had two little children. So I spend a lot of time chasing my two little boys, but they're a lot of fun. Outside of that, I'm a big sports fan. I enjoy soccer, baseball, here college football are all sports that I enjoy kind of following and keeping up with. And when my kids give me some free time, I enjoy, running, playing basketball, a few other sports like that. But beyond that, I'm also a big pop culture fan, so enjoy trying to keep up with what's coming out at the movie theaters and enjoying all of the shows that we've got on all the different dozens of different streaming services that are out there. So there's plenty to keep me entertained when my kids will give me some free time.
Oh, lovely. Say hi to your kids. And Palmer, thank you so much for sharing your insights and experiences with us today. We couldn't have had a better start to Tuesdays with Trailblazers. And thank you all for joining us today. If you enjoyed the episode, please subscribe and leave us a review. And don't forget to check out g2.com for all your software needs. Until next time, stay tuned with Martech Edge for more insights into all things marketing and technology. Till we meet again, signing off, your host, Neha.